Am I the asshole for suing my parents? My great-aunt set up a savings account for all of her female relatives. Now, in our culture, education for women is not really valued, and she thought that was bullshit. She lived with her father in London, where she was educated. She went on to attend university and became a doctor. She married a British man and moved to America and had a great life. She funded the education of many other nieces and grandnieces as she could. When she passed away, she left money for every girl relative she could. My parents managed to access the accounts that were set up for my sister and me. They used it to pay for my brother's wedding. My sister didn't care because she got married 2 years out of high school and had no intention of going to college. When I graduated, I went to the bank to get money for school and it was almost all gone. There was only about $13,000 left. I asked my parents about it, and they said that they had needed the money. I finally found out where the money went and I got furious. I got student loans and moved out. I'm a great source of shame to them and I don't give two fucks. I'm currently suing them for the money that was left for me. My entire family is against me. They all think I'm a complete asshole for airing private family business in public and putting money ahead of family. My friends are all on my side, but they're all Americans and don't really get my culture. Neither do I, to be honest. My brother called me up and offered to pay for my university if I dropped the lawsuit. I agreed as long as we had a legally binding contract. He said I was being an asshole for not trusting him. I said he should not have accepted my money for his wedding. It's causing all kinds of embarrassment in our community. I'm somewhat ashamed to be doing this, but I don't want to have this debt I should not have. I always find it hilarious in these stories when they say, I quote what OP said, "They all think I'm a complete asshole for airing private family business in public." You know why they don't want to air this private family business in public? Because it makes them look like the fucking jerks that they are. They're wrong. They took this money that was yours. They stole this money that was yours for your education, kindly provided by your great-aunt, who sounds like a wonderful person, by the way. And as for your brother, quite frankly, I wouldn't trust someone either who's willing to call you an asshole and defend their actions at the same time. A timely ask says, not the asshole. Your parents didn't borrow your money. They stole it. You have all the documents to show that money was yours. Your brother is also the asshole for trying to get you to drop a lawsuit with what is most likely a lie. Have a chance to start a life without student debt. You do whatever you can to do that. Your parents, and I'm sorry, but their culture sounds completely toxic. I'm glad you got out. OP says, the student law center at my university is helping me with everything. I have proof that the money was mine. Trying to do everything I can so this doesn't become a criminal matter. I hope replies, this is a criminal matter. If this was for an American university, you're talking $200,000 to $300,000. Theft of that much is jail time. Mopa says in quotes, they think I'm being a complete asshole for airing private family business in public, and that I'm putting money ahead of family. And says, no, they think you're an asshole for holding them accountable for their awful actions. They thought you would be a pushover, but you're showing them that you are not. Your great-aunt would be proud of you. You aren't the one putting money ahead of family. They did when they stole your money. They already showed you how little they think of you, respect you, or love you as a family member when they screwed you over. Not the asshole, obviously. Catholic says, not the asshole. Your parents and your brother had the opportunity to keep this a private matter when you told them you would sue them if they didn't return the money or pay for your schooling. Since you've already been betrayed by family members you trusted, your brother should not be offended that you want a written contract. And a final comment from Professor Yaffle, who says, not the asshole. Your parents stole from you. I find it difficult to believe that that's culturally acceptable. If they had asked you to agree to the money being used, it would be different, although still not great given the power imbalance. And I would have thought that intentionally disrespecting the dead would be a no-no in most cultures. You aren't airing family business in public. You're dealing with a theft. Your parents are the ones who chose to lie and steal. And now they're upset that their actions have caught up with them. Yes, relying on a formal binding legal contract in place to withdraw your legal claim is essential. You're not being an asshole. If your brother is honest and trustworthy, then there is no reason for him to object. If he isn't, there is a reason to get it formally drawn up. The OP came in with an update over a year later and says, it's over. I got my money. I've also been pretty much disowned by my family, but I consider that a win as well. My parents ended up having to mortgage some property to pay me back for what they stole. My family is embarrassed that I forced them to this point after they offered to pay me back in installments. Nobody is willing to answer me when I ask what would make my parents pay me back. I was stupid enough to trust them. I've been told that I will never find a husband from our culture with my belligerent attitude and strident independence. I laughed. I do not want anything to do with that culture except perhaps enjoy the food. I plan on never returning to that country. I'm enjoying the independence I have achieved and more than happy to know that several other young women in my family have taken steps to lock down the education funds left for them. To those who think it is sexist that my great-aunt only cared about educating women, please die angry. A comment to this said, "The only way for this to be a happier ending is if your parents saw the inside of a jail cell for stealing your money." OP replied saying, "That is how we won. My lawyer started asking for documents that would show exactly that there could have been legal, not just financial consequences. They agreed to pay me back and hell yeah, good for OP in this situation. And look, I don't know the full ins and outs about how OP felt about dealing with family, but I know from stories we've read, books I've read, audiobooks I've listened to, how difficult it can be to cut those ties to deal with family members when they try to manipulate you with family ties, etc. OP may have found it easy, but I don't know. And the family makes it a little bit easier for OP with the way that they treat OP. I can only imagine there's a lot of emotions there to deal with at the same time, but fucking good for OP in this situation. I'm so glad they didn't trust them with paying in installments, didn't trust the brother because it all just felt like a trap to me." Abra Lakbar was shouting in my ear. But now I'm gonna turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time, not just towards me but towards one another down below in the comments, the OPs in the stories, the people within the stories at the same time, it means the absolute world. So thank you so much and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.